God, he loved flying with you, Maverick. He would have done it anyway, without you. He would have hated it, but he would have done it. This was said by Goose's wife to Maverick after Goose dies in an airplane crash in the famous 1986 movie Top Gun, directed by Tony Scott. The producer of this film could have used a happier and more effective ending. First, I will tell you about the summary of Top Gun. Second, I will discuss the original ending of this movie. And finally, I will display my alternative ending for this movie. First, let's start off with the summary of this iconic movie. Maverick and Goose start off in this movie in a fictional air flight, accompanied by their wingmen, Cougar and Merlin. During this flight, Maverick flies his plane parallel to another plane and inverts his craft in order to give the other pilot the finger. However, Cougar is almost shot down by a hostile aircraft and is too shaken to land despite being low on fuel. Maverick then assists Cougar and escorts him home to the carrier, where he gives up his wings because of his newborn child that he has never seen. Although his dislike for Maverick, the commanding officer gives Maverick and Goose the chance to go to Top Gun school. The day before Top Gun starts, Maverick, accompanied by Goose, unsuccessfully approaches a woman who they later find out is Charlie Blackwood, a Top Gun instructor. Now I will show you a clip that shows Maverick's recklessness along with his love for Charlie.
Excuse me, Lieutenant. Is there something wrong?
Yes, ma'am. The data on the MiG is inaccurate.
How's that, Lieutenant?
Well, I just happened to see a MiG-28. Sorry, Bruce.
We happened to see a MiG-28 do a 4G negative dive.
Where did you see this?
That's classified.
It's what?
It's classified? I could tell you, but then I'd have to kill you.
Lieutenant, I have top secret clearance. The Pentagon sees to it that I know more than you.
Oh, ma'am, it doesn't seem so in this case now, does it?
So, Lieutenant, where exactly were you?
Well, we
Started up on his 6 when he pulled through the clouds, and then I moved in above him.
Well, if you were directly above him, how could you see him?
because I was inverted.
No, he was, man. It was a really great move. He was inverted.
You were in a 4G inverted dive with the MiG-28?
Yes, ma'am.
At what range?
No, about 2 meters.
Well, it's actually about 1.5, I think. It was 1.5. I've got a great Polaroid of it. He's right there. Must be 1.5.
Was it nice picture? Was it?
Lieutenant, what were you doing there?
Communicating. Keeping up foreign relations. I was, giving him the bird.
You know, the finger.
Yes, I know the finger, Goose.
I'm sorry. I hate it when it does that.
So you're the one.
Now that we have learned about the summary of this movie, I will tell you a little bit more about the original ending. In the ending, Maverick and Iceman chase Viper. Maverick is close enough to shoot down Viper, but he accidentally flies into the aircraft jet wash of Iceman's plane and suffers an unrecoverable spinout. This causes both Maverick and Goose to eject from the plane. The ejection causes Goose's head to slam against the aircraft canopy, ultimately killing him. Although the board clears Maverick of any responsibility in Goose's death, he feels guilty, and not even Charlie can console him. Maverick seeks out Viper's advice, and Viper tells him that he may continue Top Gun school if he regains confidence. Maverick decides to go back to Top Gun, but Iceman ultimately wins Top Gun. Maverick, Goose, Maverick, Iceman, and Hollywood all are called to a crisis situation after this. During this situation, Hollywood is shot down, and Maverick is scrambled in a similar situation as Goose's death. After Maverick regains control, he helps Iceman shoot down 4 planes and force the others to flee, ultimately returning victorious. Now that we have learned the full summary of this movie, I will tell you a little more about my alternate ending. The most climactic part of this movie is when Goose dies. In my alternate ending, I would have Maverick and Goose both eject successfully from the plane. After landing, Goose and Maverick, along with Maverick and Charlie, will get into huge fights about Maverick's recklessness. After a few weeks of convincing, Maverick and Goose will come back to Top Gun better than ever, and they will ultimately win Top Gun. Maverick will then find out that Charlie was the one that got the team back together, and he will go find her in the bar that they originally met, and they will fall back in love and eventually get married. In conclusion, the producer of this movie could have used a happier and more effective ending. First, I displayed the summary of Top Gun. Second, I discussed the original ending of this movie. And finally, I displayed my alternative ending for this movie. Hey Goose, you big stud. This is something said by Goose's wife after he engages with her, and that shows the happiness that he had in his heart. If Goose never died, this movie would have become a much happier movie.